instead of rank, instead of eager tensor. So other than that, we can also name our variables. For example, if I say name is equals to test, and if I look at that variable again, the name was changed to test instead of variable. And you can also set the variable to trainable or not by simply specifying trainable is equals to false. So by default, all the variables are trainable, but if you set it to false, then it won't be trained when you start the session and try to train your model. Okay, so other than that, we also have some operations in TensorFlow, and some important points about operations in TensorFlow are that all the operations are performed using eager execution unless you are using them inside the TensorFlow graphs. I will show you later how we can build those graphs, but for now, just know that all the operations that you perform directly using tensors are done using eager execution. So and the second point is that all the operations that are found in TensorFlow can be found in NumPy. So you can use all the operations from NumPy in TensorFlow. And so the next point is that when you are using a TensorFlow operation on a NumPy array, it is automatically converted into a tensor. And if you are performing the NumPy operation on a tensor, it will automatically be converted into a NumPy array. Okay, so that was all that I needed to say. Now let's move on to the regression example. So first, let me show you what we are actually going to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually we are going to have a single neuron, and this neuron is going to have one input that is X and a bias value that is going to be B. And this X will have some kind of weight related to it. So it will give us an output that is Y. And it will have two operations inside there. The first one is the summation, and the second one is the activation function. So the value for this summation operator is going to be equal to X times the weight plus the bias. And for the function f of x, I'm just going to return the value that comes inside that function. For example, if f of x is going to be equal to x. So then we are going to have a loss function. So what loss function will allow us to do is it will actually allow us to update our weights depending upon how much error we had in our output. So I'm going to use the mean square loss. So I'm going to say loss is equals to y hat. Y hat is the actual output that we want minus the y that the output that we got over here. And then I'm going to square these two values. So other than that, we would need a derivative of L with respect to y for calculating the we are actually going to calculate the gradient of our weights and biases so that we can actually update those values. So to find the gradient, we actually need to differentiate with respect to, we need to differentiate the loss with respect to y. So if I differentiate it now, it will return me y 2 times y hat minus y. And other than that, we also need the differentiation of bias with respect to y, and this is going to be 1. And then we need the differentiation of w with respect to y, and this will return us x. So what I'm doing over here is actually differentiating this equation with respect to y and y. So so that is going to be our equation for the regression. And as you can see, this is the most basic example that we can take. And so let's get started. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first import NumPy and Matplotlib. And now we need to create the distribution that we are going to be working with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually create a random normal distribution with some true weight and true bias. So I'm going to say true weight is equals to 5.0, actually 3.0. And true bias is going to be equals to 2.0. And then we need to decide the number of examples that we want to pass. So the number of examples is going to be equal to, let's say 1000. And now we need to create our inputs. So I'm going to say inputs is equals to np.random.normal. And inside there, I can pass the shape of my examples. For example, if I want 1000 examples or 1000 inputs, I can say the size is equals to number of examples. And similarly, I'm going to create another variable called noise. So just so that I can add some noise into my actual output data. So I'm going to say noise is equals to np.random.normal. And then we need to create the outputs. So our output is going to be equal to the true weight times the inputs plus the true bias plus the noise that we created. And that should create our inputs and the outputs. And now let us take a look at what our data actually looks like. So I'm going to copy this graph and so what I'm doing over here is I'm actually creating a scatter graph of my inputs and my outputs. So if I run this, it will show me the distribution that I just created, which looks like this. Okay, so let's start building out our model in Python. So first I'm going to build it using simple Python, and then I will move on to the TensorFlow part. So I'm going to say class model. And inside there, I'm going to pass the object of my own class. And now I'm going to create a initialization function. So I'm going to say init. And inside the initialization function, I'm going to pass the learning rate of my model. So I'm going to set it to 0.1 by default. And then I can set my weights. So self.weight is equals to, let's say 5.0. By the way, when you are actually building out these models, your weights are set by some random value, but in this, I'm just going to set them by myself. So I'm going to say 0.0. And our learning rate is equals to the learning rate that I pass into this model. Okay, now let's create a loss function. So I'm going to say loss, and inside there, I'm going to pass the actual output, that is output, and the predicted output. And what this loss function will return me is the mean square error of my it will return me the mean square error of my predicted output. So I'm going to say np dot mean, yeah, np dot mean, and inside there np dot square, and then I'm going to subtract my output, that is my actual output, from my predicted output. So next, let us create a prediction function. So I'm going to say predict, And inside there, I'm just going to pass the variable x that is my input. And this should return me the output of that summation that I just showed you in the one node. So I'm going to say self.weight times the input plus bias. So next we need to create a function that actually trains our model. So I'm going to say define train. And our train function is actually going to take the inputs and the outputs. And these outputs are the actual outputs that we are expecting out of our model. And in there, I'm going to initialize two lists so that I can store the weights and bias values. So I'm going to say ws, comma, the bias. Now I need to decide on the number of epochs I want to initialize, or the number of epochs I want to run my model for. So I'm going to say epochs is equals to range. Let's set it to 10 epochs. So what this will do is it will actually create an array of 0 to 9. So now I'm going to iterate through my epochs. So I'm going to say for I in epochs. And for each epoch, what I'm going to do is I'm going to store the value of my weights and the bias. So I'm going to say ws dot append is, and I'm going to append the weight that is the current value of the weight of my model. So I'm going to say self dot w, and then bs dot append and self dot bias. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to actually iterate through our inputs. So I'm going to say for j in range, the length of our inputs. And inside there, I'm going to call another function called self.update. And my update function will take in the input, or the current value of the input and the current value of my output. So let's create the update function. So I'm going to say define update. And inside there, I'm going to pass in the input and the output. So now first we need to actually calculate the loss. So I'm going to say, first I'm going to pass my value through the predictor. So I'm going to say predicted output is equals to loss. And inside the loss function, I'm going to pass the input value. And as for the loss, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say loss is equals to, I need to calculate the loss. So I'm going to say self dot loss. And inside there, I'm going to pass the actual output, that is output, and the predicted output. So, and that should return me the loss. Now what I need to do is I need to create, I need to find out the delta L. So I'm going to say differentiation is equals to the 2 times the output minus the predicted y. So this is the equation that I used for actually finding the gradient of my loss function. So next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the gradient of the weight and the bias value, or how much my weights and the bias value change with respect to this loss. So I'm going to say dB is equals to differentiation times 1. And my weight is going to be equal to differentiation times the input.